There we go. Welcome everybody to Tuesday night. I like how that AI documentary even got the top knot almost exactly right. Okay, Bobby Gray here, joining you live from Dubai. Dubai. Last week it was Berlin. This week is Dubai. How do you know for sure I am in Dubai? Last week I showed you a pretzel to convince you that I was actually in Germany. This week I had some leftover Dubai chocolate sitting here, and oh, I'm still sharing my screen. Sorry about that. Sorry. I had some leftover Dubai chocolate, which actually is really good. My first Dubai chocolate I bought in McKinney like a couple months ago. Everybody on TikTok was talking about it, and then I found a bar, and I'm like, this is pretty cool, and it was all right. But Dubai chocolate in Dubai is $22 a bar for the good stuff, and it's spectacular. It's actually really great. And I saved some and room service threw it away. And so to convince you that I am in fact in Dubai, it's too early at this point to show you the Burj Khalifa in the background. So instead, I will show you my new phone. It's a pretty cool phone. All of you guys are normally impressed when I have that, Galaxy Fold tablet. But you unfortunate Americans only have the bifold, whereas us high-tech people from the future in Dubai have the trifold Galaxy phone, and I've got it here in person. And that is how you can for sure be convinced that I'm actually somewhere far, far away. Um, Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I am going to jump right into it tonight because I've got a meeting with our new and awesome PR team, the best of the best, guys. I told you guys for a while now that I had some aces up my sleeve. I told you guys for a while that we haven't played our all of our cards. We've got some fancy friends around the crypto industry. Been doing this for a bit. And so this is one of them. This is one of them. This is I'll tell you more about her in a minute, but I'm meeting with her. I'm supposed to meet with her at 10, push back to 11 a.m. so that I can catch a couple hours of sleep before I have to head out that way. But I want to jump right into it and talk to you guys about the video that I just played a moment ago. That video was from September. If you remember, we took 165 of our top performing besties, jumped on airplanes, went over to the other side of the world in an effort to begin the concept of sharing our message with our friends on the other side of the world. Remember, we mine TEXIT Coin in Texas, but we want to trade it and export it all over planet Earth. Why? Because, trade with all, alliance with none. The world produces a lot of great stuff. Dubai's got its chocolate. Samsung's got its trifold phones. I'm telling you guys, this is really cool. It's really neat. I'm very happy with it. The world makes great stuff. There's a lot of beauty in the world. I have seen so much of it. I'd like you to see it all as well. But we have to trade. We've got two options. We can either take our tanks and our battleships and our aircraft carriers and go and steal people's stuff, which seems to be okay these days, or we can trade. We can produce and we can trade. And in order to trade, of course, we're going to need a legitimate currency. Every empire in the world has failed. They all follow the same cycle, growth and decline. And you can match that cycle up very quickly and very easily with one moment. There's one moment when that empire hits the very top of its cycle. It's as clear as day. Other things, other contributing factors about, you know, um, education and population explosions and industrial and exports and imports and all that stuff. These are metrics that are, of course, tracked and valued. But there's one thing that marks the very top of an empire. Anybody want to guess what it is? 100 TXE. Rob, did we ever pay out the 100 TXE for last week's prize and a half? Tell me we paid it out. I hate being in debt.
I think we did. Yes.
What is the one thing? Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Michael there because I think you got it. Yes, that nation's currency becomes the world's reserve currency. And for us here in America, that happened in what year for an extra 50 TXC? Come on, Nate, tell me the year and the event. I'll give you 50 for each. No, it wasn't 2025, Brian. It wasn't 1971, Michael, Mark, Andrew. Yes, it was Bretton Woods. Did it happen? Did Bretton Woods go down in 1943? I always thought it was 1945. What year did Bretton Woods go down? Let's double check. Little fact check. Bretton Woods. 1944. You were so close. Um, let's double check. 1944 Bretton Woods Agreement. Guys, look, this is the boring stuff. When we share our message with people, it's do you want to get rich? Do you want to get into crypto? Would you like to join us and draw circles and lines and pyramids on the board? Do you want to make some commission telling people about our mining opportunity? There are lots of different ways to get people interested in hearing what you have to say. We've gone through a lot of those different pitches and conversations, but at the core of it all, it's all about honest money. And I'm really happy that so many people are on this call, 733 of you, 734, that are stuck listening to me ramble on about how we got into this mess in the first place. Because it's this background, it's this foundation, it's this history that's so important. It's boring, but it's important. Because if you don't understand how we got here, it's almost impossible for you to understand how to get out of this. Anyway, my point about all this is that we have to trade with the world. We've got to produce things. The world's got a lot of great stuff for us to see and do and acquire. And the average empire lasts, guess how many years? Plus or minus 100 years, an average empire lasts 250 years. That's what the empire normally gets before it lives its last breath. Guess what the United States of America is celebrating this year, 2026? That's right, our 250th anniversary. Wow. Strange, isn't it? Now, is that always how it works? No. Are there plenty of deviations from that? Sure, of course. Are there things that we can do as a country to extend our lifetime? Yes. But as we all know, every paper money system in the history of mankind has failed. Every empire has failed. So it's your job and my job to do everything that we can to protect ourselves, our families, our communities from whatever the catastrophic failure is, the fallout of that failure. What are you going to do? You're going to save some cash, you're going to pay off some debt, you're going to store some food, you're going to like what's your plan? Because if you get caught flat-footed, it sucks. It sucks big time. And so I encourage you to understand how we got to where we are now. Understand how all of these systems have always failed. They always the nation does the same thing. It becomes the world's reserve currency. That means that we can export our dollars and buy oil or buy cheese or buy wine. We just have to print up a piece of paper, send it all over the world, and get stuff. What a great privilege. Which means at this very moment, we no longer have to work as hard as the rest of the world to get what we want. That's why it always marks the very top. Your nation's currency becomes the world reserve, you're at the top. And it's only downhill from there. Now, you would say that it's something to celebrate. Hey, our paper currency is the most respected paper currency in the world. Double-edged sword because it's definitely the beginning of the end, but now you don't have to work as hard anymore, which makes everybody else more competitive. It's just how it works. And so we want to trade with the world. and we know that if the dollar dominance is going away, we're going to need some alternative. Blockchain gives us that alternative. Well, which one? Bitcoin, digital gold, Ethereum, cloud computing? Well, why not make our own? If China is primarily in control of Bitcoin today, why don't we make like our own Bitcoin um, in USA, in Texas, where I believe true Americanism lives and is alive and well. And we'll call it TEXIT Coin. Anyway, back in September, we took 165-ish of our besties. We jumped on a plane. We went over to the other side of the world and retraced some of the steps that I took, 7, 8, 9, 10, well, I guess 13 years ago now. And we put on a really big event at the Dusitani, the highest end hotel that Bangkok has to offer. And our friend Johan out there made a documentary telling the story because it's hard to communicate in the Thai local language. You get little bits and pieces here and there. So we wanted to show this documentary with this one man, Bobby Gray. And as soon as it said Bobby Gray, the whole room erupted in laughter. But it was really great. And I jumped ahead a little bit there at the end. You can download that video and check it out later if you like. But I jumped ahead a little bit there at the end because you can see how we were talking in September 2025 and long before about what's really exciting and what's kind of the hot topic for us today. And that's the global expansion. That's what we call phase three. That's making our network not just regionally impactful, but globally recognized. How do we get from never heard of us before to climb our way all the way up the industry to the very top? Well, we have to have a big network. We have to be respected. We have to talk to the crypto guys eventually in words and language that they use, white paper, ecosystem, all that stuff's coming our way. But we talked about an expansion plan to get our mind larger and also geopolitically diversified. And that day is upon us now. That's why I'm here in Dubai. We were actually in Singapore and Thailand back in September to try to do it there. And of course, we want to have it there and we will someday. But you got to watch out in the cryptocurrency industry because the rules are always changing. The hot spot for like crypto-friendly regulatory jurisdictions are always on the move. And so people are waiting for, a globally recognized city to set a, kind of a framework in place that is dependable. Singapore was really great. That's where we were years ago, and that's where we expected to be. Then they changed it, and then all of a sudden, everybody jumped out of Singapore and went over to Dubai. Why? Because they've got VARA. I think that stands for the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. Correct me if I'm wrong there for 50 TXC. But they've got VAR over here in Dubai. And I've never been to Dubai before. I've connected through the airport plenty of times, but I've never been to Dubai. And I would say at this point today in 2026 that I did myself a disservice because Dubai might just be my new favorite city. I was team Singapore for a long time until they kidnapped my daughter and fired all my workers. Um, but even since then, Singapore has always been kind of to me the definition of opulence and luxury and fine, safe living. And I never went to Dubai, and I feel really bad about that now because Dubai is really great. Show of hands, who's been to Dubai before? Anyone? Bunch of hands going up, guys. Chalk, put a pencil to your calendar. End of April is going to be a big time for us here in Dubai, and I'm going to tell you why in just the next few moments. The city is beautiful. It might be even more mind-blowing than Singapore. First of all, second of all, it's kind of in the middle. Singapore is 21 hours on the other side of the world. I'll be in Hong Kong in just a couple days, right down the street from Singapore, attending another event. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But it's a really great East meets West city. If you go to Singapore and you hang out at the restaurants and the clubs, it's mostly Chinese people. And that's not bad unless you hate Chinese people. But Singapore is mostly, influenced by Chinese culture, Chinese business people, Chinese money, all that stuff. Dubai is a little bit of everything. I mean, it's right here on the east side of Europe, so you've got lots of Europeans here. It's south of Russia, so you've got lots of Russians here, plenty of Indian people, but there's just wealth from all over the world here in Dubai, and they've got a really beautiful regulatory framework in place that the crypto industry today is really flocking to. They've got crypto tower where they've got, just incubator after incubator for blockchain companies. And so they've made it really straightforward to do crypto business here. And so, I've been curious about it for a while. And we connected with our friend Aldo Safa when we were in Thailand. And I've known Aldo since 2015 when I was manufacturing silver statues. And he ran a big Japanese company that was, producing manufacturing equipment for a gem and jewelry industry. But I've known him for a long time, and I connected with him when we went back to Thailand. I said, "Hey, man, I need somebody I can trust with boots on the ground here in Thailand to run this next project. We've done well in the USA. We've brought a community together. We need to do that again here." And he looked into it. He hired the best lawyer, and he said, "Look, we can do it here, but it's not going to be as by the book as you want." Now, why do I want by the book? In USA, we've got a great thing. It's working great. But there's no crypto licensing regime. There's no like, thing to tell us exactly how to do it. So we've had to make up a lot of that as we go. And we've enjoyed 2 years now of success and, kind of open road. But it would be really great for the second project, for the next one, for the next 100 million mega hash to be somewhere that's really dialed in, that's by the book, that's licensed and regulated. These are all words that I don't really speak. I don't really understand them, but I know that many people in the world do. And so we really want project number two to be as official and straightforward and, operating under the ministerial green light as we possibly can. So he says to me, "Hey, it's not real cut and dry here. Why don't we just do this out of Dubai? That's where everybody does this stuff." In fact, I'm a Dubai native, he tells me. So Aldo is Lebanese by, I don't know, birth, culture, whatever you call it. But he was born and raised in Dubai. And so he's actually kind of a Dubai native. And he says, "This is my home turf. I know the country very well. I'm very well connected there. Why don't we do it in Dubai?" And I was like, Dubai, I've never been. Come and take a look. Wow. Mind blowing. Absolutely head and shoulders above what I experienced in Singapore. And I lived there for 3 years and I've been here for 3 days. And so it's really beautiful here. Setting the chocolate and the trifold Samsung Galaxies aside, it's a really great place. Look, I'm not a local. I am sure that there are plenty of things that people will warn you about when it comes to Dubai. But as far as I'm concerned, it is the place to call home for our next project. And we talked about our next project last week on the call. We've been talking about cross mining for months. We've been talking about the opportunity that we have to create these local, culturally relevant projects and then linking them together and having something that's exponentially successful because all these projects can be engaged by the local communities, successful based on local participation, but supported and backed up by other networks that cross mine. That's a term that we've created across the globe. And so that's where we are. That's what I'm doing today. Met with the business registration people the other day, went through the whole licensing thing, made sure that we're doing it exactly by the book. And my friend Ricardo was out here with his beautiful wife a couple days ago in Berlin. He said, "Look, I like where you're going with this Dubai thing, but it has to be excellent. Dubai, you have to do it exactly right. There's no half-assing it. We'll make it up as we go. You got to do it exactly right, or you get in trouble and you go to jail." So, well, that's not what we want. Let's do it right. Let's do it in Dubai. So I'm here in Dubai. We're going through the steps. It's going to take us a couple weeks to get our business registration confirmed. We've got a lot of good news for the project. We put pretty much all of the roadblocks and the hurdles in front of us for TEXITcoin. Why? Because we wanted the most fair and honest version of this thing to get started. And if we could do it with all the roadblocks in the USA, one of the most challenging, difficult places to launch a project like this, then I knew that it would be possible for us to be successful anywhere else in the world. It just was going to take some time. And so we've pulled out all the stops. We've eliminated the roadblocks for the second project. A lot of reasons for that. I've embraced some things that in the past I was dead set against, some things that smell more MLME than what we build into TEXITcoin, which, the experts and pros say it's not an MLM. Stop calling it an MLM. Okay. But I've pulled out all the stops for the Dubai project. And another one of the big ones is influencers. We've got access to quite a few top level influencers through our new promotion and marketing people, our PR people. Um, we're going to talk about some of that tonight, some of it. I'm not going to tell you all the secrets because these calls end up on YouTube and then the trolls get to work on them. So we won't give you all the state secrets. I think that it was important to be as transparent as possible as we got started, and we'll stick to that to the greatest extent possible as we continue moving forward. Um, for example, let's show you what we've got cooking out here in Dubai and why you should join. All right, so a couple things. First of all, we are, there's Bretton Woods, in case you were questioning our dates, 1944. We are now the headline sponsor for the biggest Polo Cup event that goes down in the UAE. The Emirates enjoy this beautiful event. I'll run you through the slideshow here real quick. It's in its third year now. Last year, the heads of 7 out of 8 of the Emirates, I think I got that right. I think there are 8 Emirates here. And I think 7 of them showed up to either sponsor a team or to admire and enjoy the event last year, which was a pretty big deal. And so this is a big event that is going down April 25th in beautiful Dubai. Remember, there is a dress code, polo chic, polo chic. I don't know. Anybody want to clarify me on that? Anyway, we dropped 150 grand on it. This is what we get. And I want to pause here real quick and talk about something we haven't talked about in a very long time, and that's liquidity. As you may recall, TEXITcoin reached the very top of its first cycle. Remember, we go through cycles here in crypto. We don't get angry about them. Now that we know what a cycle looks like, we are no longer in fear of the cycle. But we went through our first cycle and we hit the very top of our market last September. Why? Well, we had just spent $500,000 to put ourselves in front of the Token 2049 community in Singapore. Got the besties on the airplane, did a big event in Thailand, lots of buying pressure in the market. The coin went way higher and hotter than we thought it was going to go. And we got close to $7. Or did we hit $7? Which one was it? Any idea? I don't know.
I think we touched $7. I think it was at 650 pretty hard, but just touched $7.
2.8 cents all the way up to $7 means that we 250x exactly on the nose. 250x, which is a great first cycle. Congratulations. Round of applause for everyone that enjoyed our first cycle. And so we went through our first cycle. Now, going up to that first cycle, leading up to that first cycle, if you go back through the Tuesday calls, you will see the time and time and time and time again. I said to you guys, we don't have enough sellers. We don't have enough sellers. We don't have enough sellers of TXC. 2/3 of all the TEXIT coin that's minted every day goes directly onto the cold storage coins, which means they're not available on the market to be bought and sold. Why is that a problem? Because when we get back here in April and we start pumping again, we start promoting, we start inviting people from a very wealthy place to jump onto TEXIT Coin, they're going to go out and they're going to look at it on the market and they're going to look at our liquidity. Now, when most people think about liquidity, they're thinking about the buyers. They're thinking about, is there anyone here that's going to buy this coin? But as people are getting into a new and emerging asset, they're looking at the sellers as well. And so if they don't see enough sales activity in the order book, they go, well, geez, this is kind of stupid because, right now it's at 90 cents, but if I want to buy $1 million worth, I'll take the price up to like $700. And I don't want to be the guy that drives the price to $700. I'd love to buy $1 million worth at a dollar or at a dollar 50 or at $2. And so what we were begging our community to do was to go back through the videos in the help desk on how to set up an order book on DexTrade. Now you can use Bitmart, you can use MEXC, whatever exchange out there is comfortable for you. But look, you've acquired some coins, and I need you to put some out there for sale at a dollar. Just a little bit. I need you to put some out there for sale at a dollar 25, and some at a dollar 50, and some at $2, and some at 2.50. And what that does is it builds out this order book. And then all of a sudden, you get an alert or not that you just sold some TXC for $1.50 or $2 or $2.50. Rob, do you remember how fun it was, man, when people were like, I logged in and my order book was all cleared out. I didn't see anything. I don't understand what happened. And then all of a sudden, all my orders were canceled. Well, no, no, no. They weren't canceled. They were filled. So when you
Yeah, the
set,
other column filled up with USDC or
yes,
USDT.
yeah, when you set up your limit sales and then somebody comes along and buys those coins at the price that you've asked, think about it. You're going to the market and you're saying, hey, I have these TXC for sale. Would you like to pay $1.50 for them? Nobody's interested right now. But somebody comes along later and says, yeah, I'll take those TEXICoin for $1.50. And they take your TXC and they leave you with a pile of USDT or USDC. That's how this whole thing got started. That's how we went from 2.8 to 15 to 20 cents to 50 cents to a dollar to $2 to $5 to $7 because people put their limit sales orders out there in the marketplace and other people came along and bought those up. If there are no limit sale orders out there in the marketplace, there's no market. And so when we go through this bear market, we got a lot of hodlers, guys that are saying, well, man, I'm holding on. But now we need to start opening our hands up again. I'm not saying you got to sell everything. It's not a good idea. But I definitely want all of you to be more strategic about this as we go through the next cycle. The two-thirds of those coins that are sitting there on those cold storage wallets, I need you to look at them and I need you to say, all right, Bobby says I should take some profit so that the next time we hit the top and we go back down, I'm not angry about it. Let me pull a little bit out here at $1.50 and a little bit out here at $2 and a little bit out here at $2.50 and a little bit at $4 and put that cash aside. It's your cash. We need limit sellers as we start to promote again. We did a big promotion back in September, and ever since then, we've been kind of like, oh man, what did we do? What did we do? Was this bad? No, it was a cycle. And now, as we're beginning to reinvest our money in marketing and promotion with bigger and bolder opportunities than we did before, we should begin to prepare ourselves for the influx of buyers. If there aren't any coins to be bought on the market, then the buyers will go away. They'll say, man, the market's too immature. I'm going to put $1 million in. I'm going to take the market up to $700. Think about what would happen right now. Let's take a look at what would happen right now. If you went to Dex Trade right now, let's go to Dex Dash Trade. Was there a market in there already? Forward slash. No. Okay. We go to, let's go down here and search for TXC. There it is, and let's trade it. So we can look right now on Dex trade as to what would happen if somebody came in right now with $40,000, $40,900, they'd drive the price from 85 cents all the way up to a dollar with a $40,000 order. How many sheiks do you think are walking around with that little amount of money and buying out all the coins with $40,000 on the exchange? It's too small of a market. And so we need to have more orders out there in the order book. Mexi, Bitmart, Dextrade, whatever the other ones are that we're listed on right now. I don't know. We're all over the place. But we need to have more limit sale orders. And that way the buyers can come in and they can look around and go, man, you got a mature market here. Okay, you guys aren't, going through this your first time. It looks like you've evolved a little bit from your early days and you have a real market. And so as we're out there investing hundreds of $1,000s in marketing and promotion, the buyers that we're getting in contact with are coming along to our market and they're saying, okay, mature market, let's do business. And that's how they do it. They do it through the order book. If the order book is slim, if it's too small, and if they want to put $1 million in, they would buy off all the coins in every one of our markets. It's too small for them. They wouldn't be able to do that. And so that is our first event. Well, it's not really our first event. Let me uh, correct myself there in a minute. But that is a big event, and it is the Crypto Polo Club event that we have now become the headline sponsor through our friend and the PR marketing agency I will introduce you to in just a moment here. Um, we only ever want to do the big one. Whatever the big one is, we'll take it. Headline sponsor, that's for us, 150 grand. We get 100 seats at this. So if you're gonna be in town, join us at the Crypto Polo Club event. Anyway, here's the deck. This is what it looks like. You can go through it some other time at your leisure. It is brought to you by Philip Lord and Nikita Sakdev. Well, let's see who these people are. Bitcoin.co.jp. We'll have to use the English version of this page. Bitcoin, this is a publicly traded company, TSE listed company in Japan. And of course, it is um, headed up by Chief Executive Officer Philip Lord. There's one. And then if you want to go to nikkilord.com, you will meet Nikita Sakdev, who is now Nikita Sakdev Lord, actually. And she is kind of a top dog here in the crypto space. And I met Nikita back in 2018 when we bumped into each other at a Bitcoin event in Singapore. And there's young Nikita 7 years ago showing off one of my very first Bitcoin cold storage wallets. And there I am jumping in. Can't wait to see Nikita. I was gonna actually make a solid gold 10th ounce Bitcoin dress for her to wear at a future blockchain. And we ended up not doing it. It was probably a bad idea. But that's Nikita Lord, and she and her husband are the founders of this event. And there they are in the April edition. Here are the brand ambassadors that showed up. A couple sheiks here. Shake, shake, shake. I should probably not mess that up anymore. But this is the event. We've made a big investment in it, and it is an exciting thing. But there's Luna PR. Let's see if we can find Luna PR. Um, Find them maybe here, lunapr.io on Instagram. Um, this is our new PR company, and I'm very excited about it because they are the big dogs in the crypto space. Also, to bring your attention to TEXIT Coin, officially the headline sponsor of the DAT Summit Hong Kong. Hence the reason yours truly will be jumping on a plane and going to the DAT Summit to have a keynote speech. I don't know if my picture's on here yet. Am I on here? Where's Golden Goose Bobby? Nope, not there yet. But if you scroll down, you will see, sure enough, there's TEXIT Coin as a sponsor. So this is coming up on the 13th. If I'm lucky, the direct flight that I've got out of Hong Kong. Oh, there I am. It's me, founder, TEXIT Coin. There's Nikita, and there's our friend Philip Lord. Nikita and I had dinner last night, and it is all very good, I shall say. I don't want to reveal too many secrets anymore. Tired of the trolls and their secret bashing. Hmm. But that's what's going on, guys. We've got a lot of resources still. And as the new website comes online and as the new project out of Dubai starts to take root, it's time for us to go to the next level. And I'm tired. I'm tired. I know I look tired. I got bags under my eyes. It's 4 a.m. here, 4:37 here. But I'm working hard for our success, as I told you I would. And I'm starting to pull some of these aces out of my sleeves and putting them on the table one by one, and you'll see what I can deliver, which is some pretty impressive stuff. There's more coming. But those are the two things. Well, let me show you one more if I can. Um, there's one more hiding in here somewhere. Just to kind of round out the adventure for Dubai and the launch. Let me share my screen, share my Telegram screen, always dangerous. But we rented ourselves a bit of a boat, and this is going to be April 26th. So this is the boat that we rented holds 120 people. Um, I'm not sure if you could see the whole thing. Maybe the picture is cut off on the side. But it's a boat. That's what boats look like. And we will have a 5-star event sponsored by TEXIT Coin, already paid for on April 26th. And the purpose of that is go out to the polo event on the 25th, make a bunch of new friends, invite them to come hang out with us in the Arabian Gulf, as I'm told it's now called, on a boat, do a little bit of a sunset cruise around the Palm. It's a really, really cool place out here. Let me show you. Let me show you where it is. Maps. I'll pull up a map real quick. Share my screen. That is where I am right now. You can see me hanging out here at St. Regis Gardens at the Palm. That's my little blue dot. But today we grabbed a boat from over here and we went for like a sunset cruise around here. The Token 2049 event is actually going on over here at this cool thing, which they call the sale. You've seen this one probably on all the postcards. I'm not sure why I can't like get it to show up on my screen, but there it is. It's called the sale. Locally, it's called the Jumeirah Burj Al Arab. It is the tower for all Arabs, as they say. Take a deep breath and digest that one. But yeah, so we will on the 26th have that boat pick us up probably somewhere around here, take us for a sunset tour around the Palm, as it's called. Apparently, they put in a bigger Palm. It's not open yet, but that's the audacity that you can expect out of a world-class, very wealthy city like Dubai. So that's what we've got coming together so far. Now, I haven't mentioned to you, I think we talked about it before, Token 2049, which is also on the calendar. Now, we haven't booked it up yet. We're still waiting for the deal to get to the point where I like can actually swallow it. It's palatable. Here's what happens at these crypto events. They're like, okay, we'll send over the sponsorship deck. Everything's deck. Okay, would you like to sponsor the toilet seats? It's $500,000. If you want to put your logo on the toilet seats. Do you want to like have the Wi-Fi named after your company? That's 1 million. It's like, oh gosh. Okay. So if you wait long enough, they put together a really epic package deal for you. And so we're waiting a little bit longer to get a better deal so I can actually stomach these insane prices. But this is Token 2049 Dubai. It's 29th and 30th. So if you're planning on coming out and participating in some of these festivities, or if you're in the area and want to stop by, polo event on the 25th, yacht event on the 26th, and then we'll have a couple other things that I'm working on right now. We're actually in standard TEXIT coin supercar format working on renting out a racetrack over here, We'll bring in some new tires. We don't have any supercars yet out here in this part of the world, but we'll get there maybe. And then we're looking to rent out a racetrack for an event on the 27th. So that's our week. That's our week to do the same thing we did back in Singapore. So if you guys enjoyed our last bull run, buckle up. April should be a very exciting time for us. We talked about June maybe as a new horizon for things, but we're investing a lot of money in preparing for our next promotion opportunity, bringing Luna PR on to help tell our story. What is our story? Remember, we're building this thing with a bunch of outsiders, gold and silver guys, moms and pops, grandmas and grandpops, people that still have capital. It's hard to bring young people into crypto because young people are broke. I can't tell you. I want to make a documentary out of like bumping into all the young people here working at hotels and restaurants. Hey, can I tip you in Bitcoin? What's Bitcoin? What are we talking about? How are you young people not into crypto? Okay. They're not into crypto because they're broke. This is what we're talking about with phase four. So we are going to all the people that didn't get into crypto. We are talking to people that actually still have a little bit of capital. Think about it. Grandma and grandpa, they saved their whole lives. They're now looking at their dwindling retirements and they're saying, okay, I need to do something smart here so I don't have to go back to Walmart to be a greeter. And I want to leave something behind for my family. Wouldn't it be great if everyone's like not laughing and making jokes about grandma and grandpa as they're at the funeral, but they're sitting there like, all excited now about how they've got an epic inheritance. Okay, let's hope that it goes in some sort of really nice family friendly like format. But like that's the dream. You live, you work hard, you save and acquire, you take care of yourself through your golden years, and then you get to hand off that nest egg to the next generation, or maybe it's the grandkids or something. Hopefully they turned out well and you actually, like them enough to actually want to hand off your life's work to them. But anyway, be that as it may, point is that these are the people that still have capital and they would love to put it to work. They'd love to see it do something productive and useful. When we go to people and we say, "Hey, do you care about honest money?" and they shake their head, "Yeah, I do." Well, we'll put in $1,000 and let's help fund a digital currency that's passionate about honest money. It's almost like donating to a political cause or to a charitable organization. We don't want you to think of what you're doing with TEXITcoin like a donation, but the point is that let's put your money to work to make the world a better place. And if you can get a return on that someday, then spectacular, as many people have so far in our experience. Um, but we're doing that and it's working well. And at some point, we know that we need to reach out to the cryptocurrency community. We know that for sure because we expect to be able to get to that $1 billion mark just by ourselves. We're working on the CoinMarketCap verified listing right now. Hopefully that happens before our next bull run. But we know that we can get to the $1 billion value just by building our mind and building a community. Not a problem. But how do you get up to the top 20? How do you get up to the top 10? How do you get to number four behind Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP? Well, you need the support of the crypto community. And in order for us to get that, we have to tell our story to the crypto community. We have to convince them that we're not the scam that everybody else seems to be. It's work, it takes time, but trust equals success. If we can get them to believe us, we'll join the ranks at the top of the cryptocurrency industry. We need a good group to take us there. We need somebody that knows how to tell our story, somebody that knows what's in our heart, maybe somebody that we met back in 2018, long before TEXIT Coin was a twinkle in our eye. These things are all in the works now. Very happy to share that information with you. What else is on my list to talk about today? Let's talk about setbacks. Talk about a real quick setback and then we'll move on. Hey, Rob, I heard that you had a DocuSign to purchase the replacement transformer for Victoria. Has that been purchased? Have we DocuSigned?
That has been DocuSign and that is happening. And unfortunately, there's a manufacturing process involved. So there will be a delay, but we have the actual step to get that guy up and running. Tricky Vicky, as we call her.
$80,000 later, we've docu-signed the purchase order to get the replacement transformer. Look, here's the thing about it. It's not the money. The money is the easy part. The hard part is time. We don't want to make a 3 or 4 month commitment to a solution and then find out that we did it wrong again and wasted another 80 grand. And the bigger problem is the spec. And so when we did Conroe and we saw the transformer and we have the Conroe facilities up and we're running 2 containers over there. When we did Conroe, we finally got like a really good idea for exactly what the equipment is that we need. Now we go back and we shop it around, we find the right one, and we buy it. So that's the easy part. Now, a couple months it'll take to get this thing installed, but that's a good step in the right direction. It's not a quick fix, but it is in the works, and it'll give us the transformer that we have now that we've already paid for, something that we can monetize and recoup some of that cost for that extra thing. But we're talking about setbacks. I suspended the downtown digital crew today. It's a bit of a setback. We had a couple people working on the downtown digital team, Pierre, Stephanie, Amanda, and they've spent the last couple days going down a bad path. I'm not there to course correct. We're not in a position right now to burn epic amounts of cash while we try stuff out. I've got a pretty good, simple vision in my mind. We've got a big event on the calendar right now that we've got to get it set up for. And so again, guys, anytime there's bad news, I always want you to hear from me first. It's not good news, it's bad news. I don't have a backup plan yet. I will be over here promoting TEXIT Coin at Consensus next week in Hong Kong. I'm getting us set up here in Dubai now. I'll be at Consensus in Hong Kong, and then the DAT Summit on the 13th. And then I'm on a plane and I'm back for Valentine's Day. The RV is it wrapped? Is it done?
Yeah, it
Is it
looks
totally
good.
done?
It looks
I
really good.
I want to pull a picture up real quick here because I saw a preview the other day and it looked awesome. Where did that preview go? Was it in the? Oh, here it is. Let me share this preview with you guys so you can see the RV that is coming soon to a Texas town near you. There it is. Tag axle diesel pusher wrapped and ready to hit the road as soon as I am back. And I'm excited to jump in that. Maybe you guys have heard a little bit about the road show that we're going to do. So I'll land in Dallas. I'll pick that thing up. We'll head to Waco. We'll head to somewhere elseville. We'll head to Austin. We'll head to San Antonio, maybe over to Houston. And then I'll end up down in Galveston for birthday week kickoff. I think this is a plan that's finalized now. It's not Puerto Rico. It's not somewhere else in the world. It is probably going to be the Sandcastle in Puerto Rico. We'll do a couple events down there, and then we'll head back up and do some more stuff on the road. But
Sandcastle
guys,
in Houston.
that's right, in Galveston. Um, so anyway, so that's what I'm doing after I get these seeds planted and am able to kickstart some of our new marketing and PR efforts with Luna and the stuff that we've got going on there that I've showed you a minute ago. So that's coming. Once I get back, I'll get myself buckled in and working myself on downtown digital. Remember, guys, this is what I know how to do really well. So I've got an image in my mind of exactly how it's going to work. I got to get that done exactly the way I want it, and I got good people working on it now. I had good people working on it, but we have to go further, faster because remember we've got that looming TMR date out there for June 5th, 6th. So we don't have a lot of time to mess around. We don't have a lot of time to try stuff out. We don't have a lot of time to go down the wrong path. So when I get back, I'll buckle down and get that project popping and have some more relevant updates for you. So a little setback there. But we persevere, we persist, we move forward, and we learn from our mistakes, make improvements, and keep moving forward. Okay, so that's about it. I'm going to get into one more thing, which I'm sure everyone's excited to hear about. And then we're going to jump into Q&A and call it a morning or a night. And that one more thing, of course, is who wants to say it? Do I get to say it?
You can say it.
Iskander. It's Iskander. We've been talking about it now for a while. Well, that's not a very pretty website.
It
I'm on
is
the
actually
Iskander.
down for maintenance and it was scheduled maintenance.
It would be really pretty if it said something other than rug pull. Code rug underscore pull. No, not too soon. Funny? No.
I thought it was
Um,
funny.
I would have really preferred to have like a under maintenance page or a check back in a day or two page, something page. Jim, are we listening?
It it's going to be back up and running tomorrow morning, mid morning. So we will be that way. We're ready for all packages.
The only thing that would have been worse than the page that's on there now, Tim, would be like the FBI, Homeland Security has seized this website page. You're one step above that.
It's funny.
So you're saying there's a chance? Okay.
All right. Well, I can't show you the website. Unfortunately, I could show you
It's
the
really pretty,
404.
trust me. It's really pretty, everyone. It looks
It
great.
was. Maybe I can use the Wayback Machine and show you what it looked like 5 minutes ago. But
That's
this is what you get
really
today.
smart.
Yeah. This is what you would get if you went there right now. Please, pretty please, don't panic. All is well. Um, all is well. But it's been an interesting week. I mentioned it on last week's call, and then we talked again on Thursday about how, you never know what the top of the market is, you never know what the bottom of the market is, but you do know that when a project is just getting started, it is it is it is the beginning. I thought we were going to let people join the first block club by the end of this call. I guess that ship has sailed. Hmm. Never mind. Okay, so look, we talked about it last week. We had a lot of people, I think 500 or 600 people sign up on the website to be part of the Founders Club, or at least to express interest in the Founders Club. We're going to mine the first block today. I'm waiting patiently for the developers to come back and say something ridiculous like, we have mined the first block. I was originally planning on doing it here. And as you can see, I've got an L7 plugged in right there with the wrong plug on the other end of it. And so therefore I cannot actually plug it into the wall. It would probably blow up the hotel electrical connection anyway, but I was going to give it a try, and instead this showed up. My next move was to get a knife and to cut it so that all the cables were exposed, and I just like jammed it into the wall and crossed my fingers, but maybe that's one of those things you're not supposed to do
You're
in
not
live.
allowed to do that. You're not
Are
allowed
you
to
an
do
electrician?
that.
Anyway, its scanner begins today, and I know it feels abrupt. I know it feels like we got here quickly. And of course we did. Why? Why did we? Well, because we need a boost. We need some fresh legs on the ice. If you've been watching the Mine TXC numbers over the last couple of weeks, they're not impressive. And we're not sad or scared, but we're looking at these numbers and saying, okay, guys, we're going to need to do something to continue our growth. And if you look at, our slow but sure steady decrease in sales to where we are this week so far at, $50,850, you go, well, what's the deal? Well, we talked about it last week. We talked about the problems we found with the compensation plan we had. We talked about the reality of TEXIT Coin being honest money and not an MLM, and us getting to the point where we need to start to distance ourselves from those types of accusations. We talked about merge mining and how cross mining was going to be the key for us to expand this thing globally after going something like the deep freeze we just had in Texas last week that took the grid down once again. It wasn't as catastrophic as it was back in, what, 2021. But I've got burst pipes, and maybe you do too. And so, we've got all of these things, and it would have been really lovely to launch a project like this back in September when we were all the way at the top. But what would have happened if we did that is everyone would have come back and said, you ruined it. You killed TEXITcoin. You got your focus divided. You split the baby. And now all of a sudden, instead of having one very successful project, you've got this coin that's in a tailspin. Well, let's call the bottom on it. Let's move forward on this other project. and let's get the excitement back. People are excited again. There's something new, and that something new is creating new opportunity for TexItcoin as well. And so there's a lot of synergy between the two projects, and we're going to work on a full document, full disclosure on what we see those synergies as being. And so as you're out there communicating our, next phase three, which I've shown you, we've been talking about for a long time. And you know what? I think I'm actually thinking six. USA, Dubai, Africa, South America, Southeast Asia, Japan, Korea. Japan, Korea is so big, it's its own thing. It's not any way similar to Southeast Asia that we explored a couple months ago. Anyway, could be six, maybe five, could be six. But now is the time. And so we're working real hard to get the system set up. The original first block club, as we're calling it, is now closed. Thank you very much for the couple hundred people that have jumped in and joined us on that. Um, we will have the blocks coming out ASAP, and as of the new website coming online, you will now be able to jump in and pick up any amount that you want between 995 bucks and 81,000 or whatever 81,000 times 995 is. 81 times 995. 80,595 bucks is the max per seat. And so once the website is online, you'll have the opportunity to explore that. And we'd love to have you on board for a lot of different reasons. Don't want to get into them right now. It's 5 a.m. I'm tired. And I don't want to mess them up because it's really important. The AI goes through here and grabs all my words. And if they come out like backwards or in the wrong order or something, it'll be annoying. But anyway, so it's the continuation of our journey. It's phase three. It supports TEXITcoin and the network that we're building. And it's now beginning to get us in front of a new community. And so as we get into April 29th at Token 2049 will be our launch. And I showed you the video that we played at the Dusitani. We have let me show you guys this because it's just absolutely insane. Hold on. We're renting out this hotel called the Atlantis Royal. Now you'd say, oh, okay. Um, Atlantis, that's like the cool one in the Caribbean. And the answer is yes, but that one's next door. This is the new and upgraded Atlantis called the Atlantis Royal. And that's us at dinner with them cutting a tree into my oil. But there you go. That's what the hotel looks like. It's got its own Bellagio-esque water show. There's our man Aldo. And it's just absolutely insane. You cannot even understand the size and scope of this property. It is probably the nicest property in all of Dubai, so far as I've seen. And this is where our kickoff event is going to happen for Iskander as a sideshow event in April. So we're going to do Token 2049, and then we're going to have a private event for 500 people here at the Atlantis Royal Dubai, which is on the Palm, and it's going to be absolutely epic. And so you sat at that same spot. What a beautiful place. Wow.
It
I
looks
walked in
way
there and I
cool.
was like, this is even better than Singapore. Singapore's mind-blowing. This is insane. Which I never thought was even possible. And maybe there's somebody somewhere else in the world that's even better than this. I can't imagine it. My brain can't comprehend it, but this is pretty cool. So anyway, so that's the official launch of Iskander. So we're in pre-launch now. So forgive the bugs, pardon the dust. We're taking a very exciting project and a very eager community of people that are interested in joining that. As soon as we get block confirmation, you'll have the Explorer online. Let's see if the Explorer is online now. It might be. It might be. I haven't checked. Explorer.iskandercoin.com. Nope, not yet. But that's where it'll go very, very soon. And then we get into the pre-launch period. And so Texas Coin is sponsoring the Polo Club event. TEXIT Coin is sponsoring the night out on the private yacht event. TEXITcoin will have a booth space at Token 2049 Dubai, and all of those things are leading up to the introduction and the private event at the Atlantis Royal for the official introduction of Iskander Coin. Influencers, PR, marketing, websites that work, the whole nine yards, guys. We learned a lot of things from this first project. And the second project, I expect to be even bigger and even better and to move even more quickly because, again, we've pulled out all the stops. So if you'd like to participate in it, please do. You don't have to. Nothing changes whatsoever with our vision, our mission, our strategy. Your TEXITcoin output remains exactly the same as it has and always will. There's only one person now that we've actually turned off. We haven't turned it off forever. We've only turned it off because they got a pretty big peer payment debt that went unpaid for what, 3, 4 months now. And so we've redirected the coin output to cover the peer payment default. And once that's paid off, we'll turn it back on and send our friend on our way. And he is our friend. He just got stuck in some tough times. Um, and so nothing changes. This is an exciting thing. If it's not for you, that's okay. I understand that this is a big leap for us. Again, go back to some of the older Zoom calls. We've been talking about cross mining for a long time now. Technologically, very possible. Our developer gave us a green light. He said, "Yep, we can do it. Let's go." So this is number two, and we'll do it 3 more, maybe 4 more times over the next couple of years as we build out something that the cryptocurrency industry can admire. That's my plan. I don't know if you've got a plan to make yourself a successful cryptocurrency. I don't know what your plan is to get honest money in our lifetime. I don't know if you've got a plan that can change the financial outlook of your future. I hope you do. I hope your plan involves TEXITcoin, Bobby Gray, and my friends like Rob and Tim and Mitchell and Gage and Jay and Brig and Eddie and all these other great people out there that have come together to create the most exciting thing that exists in the cryptocurrency space today. You can ride the Bitcoin roller coaster and wait for the banks and the hedge funds to send the price up or crashing. Right now, it's down. It's way down. Anybody want to go take a look at our liquidity coin on Ethereum right now? Oh, it's a little scary, but we can take a look. Let's go over to the help desk. Let's do a search for path where we've got these things listed. Scroll down. There's our Ethereum cold storage coin. Haven't touched it. Only ever loaded onto it, and it's worth 564,000. There was $1 million on there. We're down almost 50% on Ethereum, the second largest crypto in the world. And we're not crying. And we're not yelling and screaming. We're not threatening lawsuits against Vitalik. We're not selling either. We're riding the crypto roller coaster. We don't control it. It's not our market. You and I can positively affect the outcome of TEXIT Coin, but we can't control Bitcoin. We can't control Ethereum. Fortunately for us, we put some cash into gold and silver as well, and they've done extremely well. What's our gold worth these days? 16 kilos times 32.15. Gage, what's gold going for today?
I believe it was 4,900 last I checked.
4,900 last I checked. 2.5 million. That actually offsets our Ethereum loss. We diversify, guys. We do it, and you should do it as well. Never put all your eggs into one basket. Never put in more than you're comfortable risking. These are volatile things. Even gold and silver do crazy things, as we've seen. The silver industry saw the biggest one-day crash ever. What was it, 30% or something in a day?
It was a
Wild.
lot.
I don't know what the number is, but they're crazy. All of this stuff, guys, is very fake. TEXIT Coin is very real. You showed up somehow, one way or another. I don't know. You ended up landing on a project that's actually legitimate. and I'm glad you're here. And if you'd like to continue, if you're enjoying the work that we're doing together, if you think that we're doing the right stuff, if you think we're heading in the right direction, then join us on the Iskander phase. We'd love to have you. You could even sign up on a website, maybe tomorrow, the next day. I don't know. But there are a lot of important dates coming soon in the world of Iskander, and we're off to a really great start. I'm off to Hong Kong in a couple days to be a keynote speaker at the DAT Summit, which is Digital Assets and Tokenization. I'm on a panel there about protecting credibility. How was that for funny? And I'll also be giving a speech specifically about TEXIT Coin. I'd love to have you tune in. I'll try to live stream it if I can. It'll be sometime in like the wee hours of the morning. I think my speech is at noon, or at 10 or 11:30 or something. So that could be really late your time. But that's what I'm doing, guys. Traveling the world, promoting our project, planting our seeds for the next phases, and having the time of my life as well. Guys, remember, if you're not having a great time while you're fighting for freedom, then you're doing it all wrong. So please take a look in the mirror, take a deep breath, ask yourself if you're enjoying the adventure that we're having together. If the answer is yes, consider continuing with us as we get into the next phase. It's going to ask you for some more money out of pocket. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Please don't do it if you're not comfortable doing it. But let's have some more fun. And if you want to join us in Dubai at the end of April, remember we've got the polo event on the 25th. 26th is our yacht party. More stuff coming 27, 28, 29, and 30 are Token 2049. And then we'll have our big Atlantis private launch party event probably right after Token 2049, which will, of course, give us the greatest opportunity to promote and invite people to come out and join us for that event. That's it for me tonight. It's an hour and 8 minutes in. Let's go to your questions and see if there's anything meaningful in there that I can stumble my way through before I go back to bed. What do we got, Rob? What are the questions these days?
Well, there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of stuff on Iskander and some good questions on is it worth spending TXC to get into Iskander or should they hodl?
Well, that's an interesting question because we've got a promotion where we're accepting TXC. I think that's over. Is that over now?
Yeah.
Eh. Um, well, the next part of the promotion is going to be that we'll accept it so long as you agree to accept it back. So if you take it as a commission payment, then you can earn that same text coin back. Um, Guys, I can't tell you. I am not selling my TEXIT coin, but I know that you worked hard for it. And so if you want to trade that to get into this next deal, then I would consider doing that because we take it just as quickly and easily as we take dollars. To us, it's a real currency. We had a promotion that discontinued with the end of the first block club here, where we were taking it at a dollar so long as you would agree to take it back at a dollar in the future. And so now that's over. As we get into, the next couple of days here with opening it up to anybody at, packages below 27,000, we'll take it and we'll take it at market value. Maybe we find a way to also send it back to you at market value, and hopefully the market value doesn't go too crazy. We're not looking to win on that. We're just looking to give you an opportunity to easily get in. All right. Reiki says, two things. I hit my 1, 2 free in January. Should I and when can I expect my payout for the promo? We just got the final numbers back from the commission department yesterday. Here's my problem right now. I'm out of the country and I don't have access to some of my wallets. Once my wife gets back and can crack into some of our other stuff there, then we will pay out those bonuses because it's a couple 100,000. Also, two of my sponsored miners got an ETH coin in their welcome kit, but I never did. Should I get one, and who do I need to talk to? We were sending them out sometimes. Sometimes we weren't. It's supposed to be in the official kit. Then we ran out, and we were like, just send them anyway. It's not important or required for you to have one. If you want one, then you got to track down shipping and convince them to send you one. No cost. When will the January TXC be paid? I have just answered that quite recently. In the next couple of days, and thanks for being patient. If our venture capital accelerator is opening in Dubai, can we meet? I'm not sure where your venture capital accelerator is or when I will be here, but meetings are certainly possible. When is the Islander coin price going to be at the beginning? Watch out for the autocorrect because it does that to me all the time as well. Iskander. It'll try to replace your K with an L and make you an Islander. I don't know. I don't know what the price will be. We've got some hurdles to overcome with the regulatory requirements before we're allowed to issue it. But that's an exciting thing because it gives us a really big opportunity. Have I thought any more about the idea we spoke about last week on Telegram? Brian, I'm not sure. Dropping the commission and dropping the price on mines for TXC. Oh, I do remember that. And thanks for the idea. So, so I haven't thought about that a lot yet. And we're going to be going through kind of a challenging period here as we kind of assess where our cash flows are coming from and what bills have to get paid. You know, we've got resources that we're living off of now because the mine TXC numbers are not anywhere close to where they need to be in order for us to cover our budgetary requirements. The show will go on, of course. But I don't know if I am on board yet with the idea of dropping the price for mines. In fact, I might go the other direction and consider selling the mines in on the website at same price or higher price. But while we're not actively really, growing the Mine TXC project, enjoy, the coin dilution not being as severe. What is CPC? I don't know. Did I say CPC? CPC? Cost per click? CMC. Probably said CMC, coin market cap. Ventured at university coming to Dubai. I'm not sure about that. I will keep an eye out for it. If we wanted to share with people the ability to buy TEXIT Coin like you were suggesting we all need to be doing, where do we direct them? Well, the new website's going to have a lot of that information on it. The easiest thing that we've had from our community, and we've got lots of videos and resources on how to do it at dex-trade.com. Go to the help desk, which is help.mindtxc.com, and you can find all of the instruction videos there. Was there an announcement before tonight about the delay in flipping the switch to the ISK mining operation? No, there was not an announcement before tonight. We were waiting for it, and it still may happen tonight. We were supposed to mine the first block on the 3rd. Say the 3rd? What did the developers have to say? Seems open. Any update? Thanks. Well, let's see. Maybe we get an update before the end of this call. Will Luna handle TEXIT PR? It will handle TEXIT PR. Yeah, that's right. It's my baby. I am trying to send people to the Callahan in Tampa. I would like a phone number to send people to Callahan in Tampa for Brig or anyone with the R3G team. Bob Austin says this. Not sure how to help you there, Bob. I'm not allowed to give out phone numbers. Definitely not on this call. Are the folks that are suspended still employed by TEXIT Coin? I'm not sure what you mean by the folks that are suspended still employed. Can you give me an example, EV? Brent says buying TXC is nearly impossible for folks in Alaska. Really? The exchanges, Dextrade, and other that's supposed to be available in the S, both through a notification that we're outside of the service or similar verbiage. Look, you can use Dextrade, you just can't verify your account. You'll have a limit on your account. You can use it, you just can't go through the verification process. Check out the help desk for videos on how to do that. Yes, we will make it easier to purchase TXC. And a question for my wife who keeps the books. What is the purchase of mining seats in the crowdfunding considered? If not an investment, I purchased 9. That's a good question. We really haven't like dialed that in yet. I would call it mining hash power purchase. You could call it a donation to the cause of honest money. CRM for the little guys, please. I think that we're going to get back around to that project as soon as we get this Iskander thing launched. Will we have founders calls in the future? We'll have a founders chat. I feel like Robbie Rue is your Ed McMahon. Bobby, keep that guy around. Is that a compliment? Is Ed McMahon still alive? Are you supposed to go door to
Maybe it's a
door
compliment. He says keep
telling
me
people that they
around.
won $1
So
million in Publishers Clearinghouse? Is that Ed McMahon?
yeah, that's the guy.
And did you ever
He was
see
the
like the
guy. He
video that
was the
says
guy that
that never
laughed at Johnny
happened?
Carson's stuff.
Oh, right, right, right. Okay. Thank you for the laughs. Becky says, I would like more details about the compensation plan. I did commit before I viewed it. I need to see it first. Becky, that's totally understandable. I think the compensation plan is done. We had a nice call the other day where everybody was all friendly with each other and got all the kinks worked out and dialed in. Maybe we were friendly with each other at the end, or maybe we were friendly with each other. I'm not sure, but it is dialed in, and I think we are all happy with it. Are we all happy with it?
Yeah.
Benjamin wants to know how long between Iskander and the three project to then launch. Good question. I'm not answering that one tonight. Will TXC be accepted at a dollar value for early adopters joining tomorrow? That is probably not going to be the case, unless you are already on the list of tell me more about it for Founders Club. I don't know. Guys, feel free to jump in here and correct me when I'm wrong because I've been a little out of the loop. Can the early adopters buy the tokens back as well at a dollar value within 12 months like the founders? Anyone?
Gage, Tim, you want to hit that?
Say that again. What's the
I
question?
don't know. Will early adopters be able to buy the coin back at a dollar like the Founders Club people can?
I think we've decided, remember, we're going to discontinue that. That was a perk for the first founders for the first block club. We're getting pretty close to where TEXIT Coin is almost over $1 now. I see it hitting over that pretty soon. So I guess stay tuned. We'll give you more information on that. How about that?
How about that? Okay. Let me repin. It's my new line today. How do we get added to the event list? Good question. We've got, well, we just saw that we had 100 tickets for the polo event. We've got 40 tickets for the boat event. Now, I'm totally comfortable renting another yacht if we have too many people out here. Look, we haven't talked much about the trip, and we love the trips. But as you guys know, we're a little tight on money right now, and we're trying to conserve. So if you like the idea of going to Dubai and hanging out with us, book the trip. If you book it and we end up doing a contest, we'll reimburse you if you qualify. But look, it's a big city. It's wide open. Token 2049. We're going to have tickets there. You can get a ticket to that. Right now, it's too early to come up with specific requirements for an Iskander related contest promotion. You guys up here should get your heads together and figure out what that is because people love the contests and they love the trips. So let's get a contest together and we will release the details on that so that you can join us in Dubai, possibly even for free for the polo event and the boat event. How do we get added to the event list? Hopefully that answers your question. Mark says, I found out about the first block founders on yesterday and did not have time to come up with the money. What is the difference between the first block and coming in with 27 as a founder? Okay, question mark. Did you fill out the form on the website? If you filled out the form on your website, then you kind of like reserved your spot, which means you're okay. We'll collect the money in a couple days. If you didn't fill out a form on the website, then you have missed the first block spot. So there's going to be a little bit of a gap of time between when the network comes online. The first block is mine. We're going to do it live if we can. Once that happens, whoever's in that founders club, first block club is going to be able to enjoy, a big chunk of those coins as they start coming off the mine. Then, as we start adding the next couple people, it's going to take us a while to get them all inputted because we've got kind of a backlog for me now, but we are keeping track of the date of your payment based on the transaction ID or the day we receive your check or whatever that is. So if you want to jump on board, fill out the form on the website and that'll at least kind of hold your spot there. And then you connect with the great people that are making all the calls. I think the enrollment and customer service team are making calls. There's a goodly amount of interest. Now, remember, the next thing after this is to start getting meetings set up. If you know anybody out here in Eastern Europe, Dubai, Middle East, UAE, let's start thinking about our first big pre-launch meeting out here. Maybe I shouldn't have opened that can of worms. JK.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, just to add, for people signed up through the website, but everybody that emailed me and sent me their info too, they are also in on the first block rewards. So don't start sending emails freaking out. You're all good if you send us your info and transaction IDs.
But remember, as of now, the website is only one step above the FBI seizure stage, remember? So nobody can go on there and fill out a form anymore right now. We've shut that down so that we can reboot it for all levels.
And it's a bad idea to have Jim put the Department of Homeland Security logo on the website just as a holding thing. Maybe somebody can make an AI version of
Listen,
that. Our website is
that's
coming
what
soon. We're
I will tell
not
you this. Jim
sieged.
and the team worked really hard. We had a fully functional website, and then we decided right before your call to make some changes. So that's why we shut it down.
Corey is probably already on it. There's going to be a cool logo that says this wasn't a rug pull. You're going to be okay in like a government logo.
All right.
Okay.
So let's just make clarification here. So are we saying that the first club block is closed off? We're not accepting any more? Are
It's
you
done.
saying
You
it's
shut the
done?
website down,
Yes,
it's done. It's over.
it's
First
done.
block plug is closed. First block plug.
Congratulations, all of you first block reward people
The
that already filled it
FBC.
out early. Yeah.
When do you estimate coin rewards to be reward for founders? What do you estimate coin rewards? I don't know. There's a lot of interest, so it's unknown at this point. Can we still buy stretch plan after the first block? You sure can. That's a big feature for us, guys. Remember, a couple of the things that we've done in this program that we're expecting to propel it all the way to the finish line. We've got the stretch program, which means you can get more hash power and pay for that extra hash power out of commissions. It means that you can lock up your coin for extra hash power for a period of 3, 6, or 12 months. It means that you can commit to taking your commission in hash power for BOGOs, TROGOs, and QUOGOs. So there's all kinds of stuff in there that's kind of weird and goofy. If it was coming from anybody other than people that you already knew, you probably wouldn't even like it or trust it, but it's going to get us to where we want to go much more quickly. How many coins will we mine? Already answer that. Well, you have the 1-2 free when you roll out an Iskander. Did we decide we're still doing the 1-2 free?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Is it hard to sell Texas when the investors look at the website at TXC and see the average per miner is not even updated since 12/13? What are you talking about? Our upcoming events is still showing up. Yeah, yeah, it's terrible. Terrible. Website coming very soon. Which website are you looking at? The Mine TXC? Yeah, no. You're absolutely right. Uh, it's been a couple days now for a couple weeks now, but I got the new website code back. I haven't gone through it yet. Just wanted to acknowledge your staff, Mr. Gray. I thought I had signed up for ISK last week, but nothing came out of my account. So I sent an email to the office and reached out to my ranger. Paul gave me Gage's number, who had Samantha call me at the same time. I got an email from Crystal. Can you say support? Take that, Bitcoin. I am now a proud Iskander founder. Yeah, there are two versions of that story. What kind of clown show are you running over there? I send in one message and I hear from 14 people, all of them giving me different answers. Um, Look, we would rather err on the side of good, response and communication. We're working on systems to make sure that we're not stepping on each other's toes over here. But thank you, Jen, for the nice, kind words. Really appreciate that. What is the hash commitment bonus? Hash commitment bonus. Anybody want to answer that one?
Yeah. So if they commit to taking their commission in hash power, they're going to get BOGO if they commit to 3 months, TROGO, which is 3 for 1 for 6 months, and QUOGO if they commit to 12 months and full commission. That's 4 times 4 for the price of 1.
I came
If you
up with
commit
that
to a year,
phrase at 2 a.m. in
Such
Berlin.
a
I
cool
thought
word.
Fogo. I thought Fogo. Okay.
Fogo.
Fogo.
FOGO is if you
Fogo
commit
sounds
to like 2 years.
Fogo sounds too much like FOMO. You know, it's like Fogo. What? FOMO.
FOGO is just
Hopefully that answers your question, Mark. Ambrose, in Texas, will we receive a coin wallet like TXC? In Texas, yes, you will receive a coin wallet like TXC. What is the coin lock?
coin lock is when they lock up all their coins for a certain amount of time. They receive a bonus for that time commitment.
We
So
got three
3 months
coin
gets you
locks.
10%. Yep,
Go
3 months get you 10% bonus. 6 months get you 25% bonus. And if you lock up your coins for 12 months, you get a 50% coin bonus, which has been a very popular promo so
Well,
far.
it should be because first of all, we're not releasing any coins at all immediately because we don't have any wallets that we support, right? So step one is like get a wallet, a mobile wallet, web wallet, coin wallet, cold storage wallet. Okay, great. Step two is we cannot release any coins until we are fully licensed and cooperating with the VARA requirements, website, disclaimers, white paper, and this is the most important one, it has to be released through a broker dealer, a licensed broker dealer out of VARA. Binance is a licensed broker-dealer. So we've got some fun and interesting things brewing there. I don't want to talk too much about them. Let's keep some stuff quiet for now, but that is an important thing for you to know that no coins are going to be released for a little while. So you might want to say, all right, I'll do the 3 month lockup, February, March, April. We're talking about launching at the end of April. If I lock for 3 months, next thing you know, I get my current coins in early May, right at the beginning of when the coins are even marketable in the first place. So I think that everybody should at least do a 3 month. Is there an update on commission structure? I know you mentioned last week it was the make it or break it week. Yeah, there is. The commission as of this past week was not big, but it was less than the limit. It was 45.48%. Now we had to rerun it because I messed up the rules, told the developers one thing, had something different on the website. I told them whatever we put in writing is what we're going with. And so we thought it was going to be 36%. It ended up being 45%, 39.8%, all the way up to 45. So it's where we want it to be. Now we just have to start to grow. We know that it's going to be difficult until the price begins to recover. So let's get the price to recover, and then we can start to enjoy some renewed interest in MineTXC. It's staying right where it is, right as it is. It's right there. Nothing's changing today. Nothing's changing tomorrow. I've got a couple weeks on the road. I've got to do some promotion. You've got to get some limit sale orders set up on the markets so that we can enjoy the fruits of our labor. But no, the comp plan change did exactly what we want. How many Iskander will be in circulation? I don't have a final number on that yet. I know that we figured out block time, we figured out halving time, we figured out coins per block, 312. But I'm waiting to hear back from the developer for all that stuff. I had funds sent into Coinbase and will be available tomorrow, but them looking at questions, there is no TXC to buy. Any suggestions? I want to buy a substantial amount. Also, how and when? Reach out to Gage. Gage at blockchainmint.com. Can we see the first Iskander coins? I'm a founder and cash has been paid. Thank you. Yeah, look, stay tuned. All of the systems that we have for TXC, very easy for us to replicate for the next network. It's all coming together very nicely, very quickly. Thanks for the patience. Britt wants to know, how will these other coins being created through expanding the network affect the utility of the TXC coin? Not being negative. Good thing you said that, because folks have been known to be graduated for even less than you're not being negative. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a negative comment. It's a totally fair question. Look, here's the thing. The whole idea of this whole concept with layer ones is that we get regional engagement through a culturally relevant project. So when we launch a Texas project, you can kind of understand, and it makes sense that Texans would be very interested in that. And they were, and they are. We've got interest from Colorado and from Southern California, and we've got interest from Florida, lots of interest there. And so, but the core of it is in Texas. And so what we're hoping is, as we launch the second one, the people in this region embrace it because it's locally significant, it's culturally relevant, it's built for them. It's for the people here. And so we want to have that 5, 6 times across the planet. And then we want those coins to all support each other through cross mining. And so every one of those projects is going to have to come up with its own question of utility or answer for utility. It's going to have to ask itself the question of utility. Is it a meme coin? Is it a pump coin? Is it a local community currency coin? If I'm really successful, I'll find the Bobby Gray of honest money in each one of these parts of the world and get somebody here to be the local champion for honest money on their network. But each network is going to need to come up with its own value proposition. We can do a lot to promote, and we do believe that the rising ship will change all the tides. But ultimately, that's the goal. The goal is to engage the project regionally and then help it find its own path to 1 billion and beyond. Is it possible for us to have $5 or $6 billion coins? Yes, it is. Is it possible for all the coins to go through all the different cycles? Sure, of course. Because all the coins are interconnected, we believe that they'll all continue to support each other in the marketplace. We might even have to set up an exchange so you can trade one coin for another coin. But again, guys, this is a long-term project. This is a 5-year project. That's why we had to upgrade to the gold ring because we knew that a year of the silver ring wasn't going to be enough to go to the very top of the crypto industry. Hope that helps answer your question, Britt. It was a good one. Mark is back again. Say, so if I register for Iskander yesterday, does that allow me to still be able to use TXC? Yes. I believe that's right. My friends and colleagues may correct me, but I think that that's right. When can we buy TXC in the back office? It's down because I've run out of TXC coins in the back office and I don't have access to my wallets where the extras are sitting. Nobody wants to get grabbed out of their hotel in Dubai and dragged out to the desert with their wife and tortured and dismembered just so they can get all the coins off their wallet. How does cross mining work if they're separate coins and network? It works just like merge mining, but it doesn't cost the participants anything. Go check out merge mining and cross mining in our help desk for more details. Bobby, is there a plan to circumvent the troll who started the Downtown Digital's wallet website? No. Maybe we need to launch a .net. No, look, guys, there's a lot of trolls out there, and we've given them a really big, fat, juicy target. Most crypto projects are anonymous so that they don't have some specific person to go after with a home address and all the stuff. Um, the flip side of that coin is we've got a transparent project that, has a real person behind it. That's a commendable feature in this industry. But here's the thing. If there's one troll or one group of trolls that can really put our project at risk, then we were wrong the whole time anyway. So let's not worry about those guys. Let's keep putting good, honest, truthful information out there. The Downtown Digital Dollars website is getting an update very, very soon. I just saw the new version from Corey today. It's great. Thank you, Corey. And look, the more good information we put out there, sooner or later, the trolls will get bored. They'll find somebody else to bother. Hope you can come and get some real rest later. How does force placement work? I can't answer that question, but do we have an Iskander call scheduled?
No, for like this, like a regular call once a
Like
week.
Bobby Gray Tuesday night Iskander update. Who does
We
that?
don't have that scheduled yet.
All right, let's feel out a good time. I'm thinking maybe I get Aldo to join on some of those calls. So maybe we do it like early in the day instead of late in the day, and that way he can not have to worry about waking up at 4 a.m.
Yep.
But let's get a call on the schedule just to go over Iskander so that we can bring everybody up to speed. Oh shoot, I didn't realize the dollar TXC offers for ISK ended today. I'm in the middle of remodeling my house, distracted. How can I still get on board? Erica, I don't know. Reach out to Gage or somebody, see if you can talk them into it. And is there an opportunity to do a partial using TXC and USDC for the 9,000? I don't know. Reach out to Gage. He's a wheeler and dealer amongst wheeler and dealers. Is the stretch program available for packages less than 27,000? It sure is. Great question. That's actually the why the website is down. Because I went on there, I'm like, no, no, no. Stretch works the other way. Should we stop selling TXC on website, forcing people to buy from market? We did stop selling TXC on website, forcing people to buy on the market. Definitely a compliment. Robbie Rue is a classy and awesome
Oh, the
uh,
community has spoken.
and
Classy and
very
awesome.
good looking. It didn't say that, but it meant that. You mentioned CPC. We were sponsoring the Crypto Polo Club. Crypto Polo Club, Edward. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay. If we have a new founder after they sign up for TXC, where do they get placed? Mark, good question. We're going to have to cover all that on the Iskander call. I don't even know. I don't even know. I viewed the compensation plan today. If a person joined and not comfortable with the compensation plan, can they request a refund? They can, but it's the same compensation plan, just with a lot more meat on the bone. What do you not like about more meat on the bone? If you pay 9,000 for Iskander and then you spread the balance for 1 year after you finish paying the whole amount of 27,000, do you still get the extra 10 seats? You have 37. I don't think so. I think the extra seats is a benefit for prepayment. Only if you get the 10 extra if you pay 27 cash at the same time. Yes, correct. Mark wants to know, did not know I had to sign up online to be on the list. Now you know. Amy says, if we don't live in the area the regional events are going on, how do we navigate sending people to the event and get credit for them? I'm not sure if you can.
Oh, they'll
Yeah,
get a personal link, and so
right.
anybody they send will get credited to them.
See
We're
that?
gonna start posting all the regional events, and then everybody can sign up, get their own link, and that way they can send people to any one of the events and get credit for it.
I don't know why people ask me anything anyway anymore at all. I don't know anything. What is the structure of ISK commission? Well, let's go over that on the ISK call. When are they going to complete the consolidation of the nines we requested? I don't know. Mark wants to know, I signed up on the call and said I was interested after the fourth. Am I eligible for the $1 per TXC? Probably not. Can we upgrade to 9 miners in the first 30 days and become a founder on the stretch program? Hmm, probably. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so the founder program is till April 29th, or we sell 3,703 spots. So
Correct.
yes.
People keep calling it Iskander. 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 If you pay 9,000 for Iskander and then you spread the balance for 1 year after you finish paying the whole amount, you said we already covered that one. Sorry. Uh,
Yeah, I can't get it to go away.
yeah, me neither. Okay, it's gone. If you don't already have an account with Dextrade, you cannot get one in the USA. Shut it down. I was just filling it out for my seat. Are you sure it's shut down? That sucks. Pionex.us. Can we buy mines on Iskander Coin starting tomorrow? Soon as the website is back online, then you surely can, and thank you. So lockup sounds a little like staking. Yes, that's right. We've had lots of people suggest it for TXE, and I said, no, we don't do that. Coins are marketable. Outside of the US, we've got more flexibility. Will TEXITcoin Miner signup be able to accept wire transfer for new TEXIT Miner signups? Will this continue to Iskander signups at official launch? Benjamin, if you ask real nicely, you can do wire transfer for TXC now. If you want to use wire transfer for Iskander, then you can. If you ask nicely, you just have to like get the details from somebody like Gage. When do you get to select 12 months or 2 year option? I don't think we have a 2 year option, but the 12-month option is going to be in the onboarding process, which is going to be a multi-step process now, not just a single step. Is the coin lock option for single miners or just for founders? It is for everybody. Good question. For II's coin lock, if someone locks up for 12 months and earns an extra 50%, where do those coins come from? It is not extra coins, it is extra hash power. That's an important thing to clarify because I saw that on the website as well. And I'm like, 50% what? You get extra hash power. So let's say you buy 9 seats and you lock your coins for 12 months, you would get an extra 5 seats. Lots of extra seats going out there, not extra coins. Is it possible that too many people lock up and the extra ISK isn't there to pay it out? No. Good question, and we've got to clarify that. Will ISK be available on Binance US or will it just be Binance regular site? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Calm down there on that forward-looking possibility. I don't know. I don't know how the Binance Alpha program works, but I know that it is a top priority for us. For the coin lock and hash lock, will this be available for people getting with 1 seat? Yes, it will. I received my coin after sign up, also an Ethereum coin. What do I do with the Ethereum coin? No one has told me. That Ethereum coin is what we will pay your cash commission to. So if you take your commission in USDC, it will go to that coin. So please don't lose that coin. Kelly's a tough one. Kelly's always got like good questions. Will we have just one comp plan rather than two, then three for each new coins? I don't know. Stop ruining all my fun, Kelly. I thought I read that this new mining was to help distance TXC for phase two from the Mlush perception. Yes, you're exactly right. And I'm not sure about phase three, B, C, D, E, F, and whatever. But let's just take this one step at a time. Will we be able to stake ISK and earn an APY? No, it is not a proof of stake coin. We're hoping that the staking option that we're offering the miners is going to be something good. And because we can't give them a percentage on that, we'll give them extra seats. When we get ISK full plan structure, we gotta like write it down. We've got it kind of we've got it done. We just have to write it down and publish it. But we've been changing the website very frequently. So once we get the website dialed in, then we'll put a page on there to explain the comp plan. Is there a TEXITcoin apparel store to buy things to wear and advertise? Not yet. When, well, there are lots of them. We just don't run one. You'll have to reach out to the community and find out who's got it. When are the ISK calls? Will an email go out to register for the calls like Texit? Yes, you'll get lots of better information for ISK. Why? Because people other than me are making sure it's done properly. This sign up link for Tampa event is tampatexit.com. The event is February 9th. Abgelo. Thanks,
Yeah, is that
Abgelo.
the fake Angelo?
That's Ro Abgelo. TampaTexit.com event is Monday the 9th. Tim, you got the jet fired up? You going out there?
Yep, we got a crew of us going down there to get it going.
Good. Yeah, guys, remember, TEXITcoin's my baby. I love him, my baby. TEXITcoin continues. TEXITcoin is honest money. Is TXC international limit still 10%? Yes. In Dallas, they said it was already 13%. Is it? Here's the thing about that. We don't know if it's like 10% like proportionally or 10% total. Um, it's definitely not 10% total. It might be 13% of the total right now, but it's not 10% total because we're only at like 24% total. If you coin lock and get 50% additional hash, does that 50% additional hash take immediate effect and accrue through the lock, or we only get it after the lock? It takes immediate effect, but you don't get those extra coins until the lock is done. Wait, is that right?
They don't get any coins until it locks up.
Okay. No coins till it locks up. Wouldn't that be nice? I lock my coins, but I get them. Jennifer
Yes.
Hommel's here to say, I would think someone would need to buy at least 200 hash to participate in the coin lockup staking. Is that because you got to like get a 50% bonus and 50% of one is half and we don't do half? That's a good point, Jennifer. Can we require at least 200 on the lockup and staking?
You're gonna have to re-ask that question. I'm sitting here going through people emailing us, seeing if they
So
can get in
basically,
before the last
if
block.
somebody buys one and they do a lock, they get a 50% increase in their hash power, but 50% of one is half, and we round up. So they would get one seat free if they bought one.
Correct.
So I would say that we start the free lockup thing at two.
Perfect.
So
We'll
it
write it
is. You
down.
win that one, Jennifer. Nicely done. Being a founder is open until April, correct? It's open until April 29th, or all the founder seats are gone, and there are 3,000 something, something, something of them. Is there a difference between the first blockchain founders and third who didn't make that group? Sorry if this has been answered. I don't think so. We're differentiating between the Founders Club and the First Block Club. The First Block Club are the guys that got in before the website got administratively taken down, and they will enjoy the blocks until we open it up for other people. Can we get a ride on the jet to events? Maybe. It's for VIPs. Can't wait to see where my 27 stretch takes me. Let's go, Jim. Thanks for joining. Will TEXITcoin eventually just become a stable coin? No, I hope not. I hope it becomes wildly speculative. I hope it has lots of cycles, lots of ups and downs, lots of pumps, lots of crashes, lots of opportunities for people to make a ton of money and lots of people to get lots of opportunity for people to get in on the low. Can I promote Iskander without having paid anything in Iskander? It's a good question. I don't know. Ken wants to know, when do we get answers to questions on locking the coins? What was the questions? When we add new member, can we add a new member who's not in TXC? That'll come out sooner or later. It's not here yet. Have them sign up. I don't understand the lock. Me neither. Would it be possible to get a discount to the miner price if we pay an ISK? How could you pay an ISK? We don't even have it. Nobody has it. Are Iskander participants required to purchase a TXC miner? For now, any consideration of lowering the entry price from Mexico exceed for 50%? No, not yet. Get some sleep. Yes, I will. I've got two more questions. Hi, boss. Iskander, first list on Binance or Bitmart? We've already signed the contract for Bitmart and paid to be on Bitmart. I have the contract for DexTrade. I haven't signed it or paid it yet, but we will be on Bitmart, DexTrade, and maybe one other really fancy one. Do you list any citizens on the first list? We should definitely have a U.S. exchange. Maybe Pinex. Maybe has Pinex been good for us?
Yeah, I think people like Pinex. They definitely like playing with the bots on there.
Oh, that's true. Last question. Second to last question. In the instance of cross-mining Iskander versus third to last question, what happens to the sovereignty story for TXC if this functions as I imagine? Then a portion of the calculations are performed offshore before being committed to the blockchain. Sovereignty is about control, and control is about physical access to the mine and a bunch of other things. So it shifts things a little bit, and we're definitely gonna have to. Why are there 9 more questions? I was ready for bed. I'm answering till 14 more minutes. Um, it's definitely something that needs to be considered. It doesn't change the sovereignty thing. The fact that it's always going to be permission is a big deal. Let's suppose we build out 100 million mega hash and that country, decides all of a sudden to nationalize what we've done. And we go, oh, okay. Well, we just cut them off from the network. So it doesn't really hurt us. They can't take over. But, they would have their own network that controls their own coin at that point, and that coin would no longer be supporting the rest of the network. So we got to figure out a way to explain that easily. But it definitely doesn't hurt us. Coach says, when promoting Iskander, will our prospects need to have a seat in TXC to be entered in? For now, yes. I will definitely be trying to sign people up for both, but want to know if it's required. For now, it's required. We'll let you know if and when that changes. Well, it'll definitely change, but not yet. It could help TXC growth, but maybe hinder Iskander growth. Yes, it will hinder a little bit. But remember, in these early days, guys, we're not real concerned about the cash flow. We're concerned about like the systems and organized because we went through this before. We grew too fast. We paid a price. It turned some people off and we hurt ourselves. So we're trying to avoid that. I want to get a couple of seats and wasn't some others to sign up to the similar process when Iskander's up. I like Pinex. Okay. Wait, if we purchase Iskander seats tomorrow, do we start accruing coin tomorrow? It sounded like you said we wouldn't, but it may have misunderstood. Yes. Well, as soon as the blockchain's live, the first block club gets the first bite of it for a couple days, maybe a week, and then the people that come in and pay and are on board will then start to accrue theirs as well. Iskander mine will mine TXC and TXC mine ISK. Yes, that's cross mining in a nutshell. Why start in Dubai and not China since it's the biggest crypto place? Because China, it's technically illegal and you can't do it without being a member of the Communist Party, and I'm not planning on joining today. We may want to tier the free hash awarded for the lockup. All odd number packages like 27 and 81s are the same challenge as a single Z. Yeah, except we round up. Guys, that's it. Official
Very,
Bobby
very nicely done.
joining you live from Dubai. It is coming up on 6 a.m. I've got an 11 a.m. with our marketing and PR company. We spent a couple bucks lately. Guys, remember that's money that we've earmarked to invest in our growth and success. We're putting it to use. That was my promise to you, following through again and again. If you like being part of a project where the guy that says he's going to do something actually does it, then let's keep going. It's called Iskander. It's the next phase for us. And remember, go back and watch the Thailand video. We were talking about this at least 3 months ago. September, October, November, December, January. 5 months ago, 4.5. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Guys, Mitchell, Gage, Rob, Tim, thanks for holding
Bobby,
down the
this
fort
is
while I'm
you in
gone.
5.
Hold on, I can't see. Let me pin you so I can see whatever goofy thing you're up to there. That's me in just a few minutes. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. And I look forward to talking again in a couple days. Have a great night, everyone.